there has been a lot of conversation, and it hasn't just been this weekend after the divisional round against the Texans. A narrative has formed with the Kansas City Chiefs and the referees, and that the referees are blatantly rooting for the Chiefs, calling plays against the Chiefs, making bad calls, and I don't quite understand this narrative for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think people who say that the NFL is rigged for the Chiefs, I don't know if they're just not remembering that the quote-unquote NFL, right, the league is 32 team owners. Roger Goodell works for the 32 owners of the NFL teams. It's not the other way around. The league office and Roger Goodell does not tell the owners, basically, what to do. Of course, they have a competition committee, they have rules, they have regulations, things that the owners have agreed upon. But it's the owners who actually run this thing. And I don't understand why 31 other owners would be like, you know what, you're right, we should rig this for the Chiefs. That we should have this so that the Chiefs can get to another Super Bowl. I don't think Steve McNair, the owner of the Texans, would like that. I don't think the owner of the Bengals or the Bills or the Ravens, I don't think that they're like, oh yeah, we'll just hand the game to the Chiefs. That's perfect. So the NFL rigging games, quote unquote, for the Chiefs doesn't make any sense. The second thing is, and I got to find the tweets, there's a guy who works for the Associated Press. He did a great job of kind of figuring out these numbers. And the Chiefs actually don't get penalized or don't benefit from penalties as much as people say they do. Josh Allen is the most benefiting quarterback out of all the quarterbacks in terms of late hits. He has had flags thrown against the other team with hits on him the most out of any quarterback in the league. The Chiefs are like 12th worst in penalty differential. So they actually lose the penalty battle a lot most of the time in the regular season and even in the postseason. I think that what fans are feeling, and this is something that kind of, I think, was felt with the Patriots dynasty as well, is that these teams are so good, the Patriots and now the Chiefs, they are so good that if you give them another opportunity, if you give them an additional 10 yards or additional 15 yards, they make you pay. They actually convert it into points. They convert it into a touchdown. There's a lot of teams and a lot of games that a late hit will come in, flag will be thrown, it's a 15-yard penalty, and then they go 3 and out, and they punt after that. And so you don't care. You don't notice. It's not that big of a deal. With the Chiefs, it's a little bit different. You give them 10, 15 yards, they're going to put points on the board. And I think that's the thing that people get the most upset with. I also think that when you look at this divisional round game, it's not like any call or non-call was effective of the outcome of the game. The Texans allowed 8 sacks in this game. They scored 1 offensive touchdown. Their special teams were not very good. I think that there was a couple of times that DeMeco Ryans' play clock management wasn't great. So this idea that if they didn't throw flags against the Texans' defense for a late hit on Mahomes, then the Texans would have won the game. And that's not true. They did not play well. The Chiefs did whatever they wanted offensively, especially with Travis Kelce. He had a vintage Travis Kelce performance in the playoffs yet again. Surprise, surprise. But I think that this is the narrative that is stuck And you see, if you're ever on social media, you see the memes of the referees and the Chiefs huddling up. You'll see the referees with Chief logos. It is a massive narrative. And I don't think that's fair. And I don't think that there's any type of truth to it. And I don't think the data backs it up. You just get this feeling because this team is so good. They're so well coached. They execute when they need to execute. That when you give them 10 yards, when you give them 15 yards, they usually convert it into points. And that's what bugs people. People think, okay, well, they gave them 15 extra yards and now they went and scored. Yes, because that's what good teams do. That's what the Patriots did. You gave them an additional 10, 15 yards and you're like, all right, well, they're in field goal range here in 2 plays. They're going to win the game now. You can't give great teams those kinds of opportunities. Did I like Mahomes flopping on the sideline? No, I didn't love it. Obviously, I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't want defensive players thinking about those sorts of things. However, I don't think you can blame him because his job is to win games. That is his job. They pay him $500 million to win them football games. And he is trying to do whatever he can to win them football games. I don't think that we should be crucifying Mahomes for trying to find loopholes in the rules or trying to sneak one by the referees. I don't think we should be vilifying him for that. It's something that everyone does. I mean, how many business people are going through the laws and trying to find loopholes, trying to find ways that they don't have to pay as much in taxes, trying to find ways that they can write things off, right? I don't know if they should be vilified for trying to find a loophole in the system. And the same thing goes for Mahomes. Do I love it? No. However, why are we so upset about it? He's trying to win them games. If you can get an additional 15 yards, get you in field goal range, get you more points, that wins you more games. I just think that people are over it. I think people are over the Chiefs, and that's the thing, is we want the new thing. I, for one, I kind of am excited that the possibility of seeing a three-peat. Seeing NFL history would be awesome. And I think just solidifying that this is also one of the best dynasties in NFL history is pretty awesome that we're witnessing it. And it's pretty crazy that you go from one with the Patriots to this one with the Chiefs. So I think it's pretty cool that they're going for a three-peat. I think a lot of people are over it, and a lot of people are tired of it. And they're tired of seeing the Chiefs on primetime games, which is another reason why I think this narrative is being formed about the Chiefs and the refs, because they're playing in big games all the time. Nobody cares about a late hit call or non-call when the Texans or the Titans and Jags are playing on a Sunday at noon. Nobody cares. You watch these games with the Chiefs, you watch these primetime matchups, and that's what we see.